Okay, so we are here today to record a short little demo on software called Encyclopedia Puritannica, and we'll explain more as we go through the demo. Okay, so the way you start up the software is you double click on the file called EPP.html. That is the platform independent way of firing up the software. Okay, and the first thing that you can do once you have fired up the software is you can press F11 on your keyboard, which then places or puts it into full screen mode. Once you've got the software in full screen mode, of course you don't have to do that, but it kind of helps to give you a good display of the software. Now, we're not going to go through all the details of the software because it is a brief demo. So what we'll do is on the left hand bar we will just click on Get Started. And then what you are presented with is really 5 areas. The first one being the navigation bar at the top of the screen. You can see along the top there. And then there are 4 different areas on the screen, display areas. And the first top left being the XR display area, which is XR stands for cross-reference. Below that is the KJ area, which is where your Bible text is displayed. In this case, it would be the King James Bible text. The third area, top right, is the GL area, which stands for Glossary, and we'll get into more details later. And then the fourth area is the work area, WK, which is where all your text of your Puritan writers and so on will be displayed. And that is basically the user interface that you are presented with. Okay, so now that you know the user interface and the different areas on the screen, what we can do is we can go straight into one of the the navigation bar at the top. The first one that we will click on is Bible at the top, and you'll see in the work area, bottom right, it comes up with a list of all the references in the Bible. And what we can do is we can select Isaiah as an example. We can go down to Isaiah 53, and what you'll see is bottom left in the KJ area, it will display Isaiah chapter 53. You can click on verse 1, and in the top left area it comes up with a list of Puritan writers. Now, what you will notice is that in this area it has been divided up into 3 different sections: commentary, major, and minor. Now, the difference between those are that commentary is commentary. I think that's quite self-explanatory. But the difference between major references and minor references is when you have a major reference, it is something like a section, something that the writer has actually written on, such as a sermon text or a chapter or a topic heading or devotional reference. When you have a minor section or a writer in the minor section, it refers to basically a reference that just appears in the body of some text of his writing. So that's the difference between major and minor. One other thing that is to be noted regarding the Puritan writers, in this version of the software, they are not all strictly Puritans, because there's a period of time in history that is regarded as the Puritan writers, and this software includes other writers which would be regarded as in the Puritan camp, as opposed to actually formally or strictly being called a Puritan writer. Okay, so that is just a brief introduction there. We will take it further in the next section. Okay, so now what we're going to do is continue into one of our actual writers. We've clicked on Isaiah 53, we've clicked on verse 1, and it's come up with a list of Puritan writers. And so what we'll do is we will select Bolton Robert, Comfortable Walking, 0001 to 0033. And you can see him appearing here on the right hand side, the work that, and you can scroll up or scroll down just for context. And to get a little bit into the glossary section, here's a word, Christendom. We'll select that word. Something that I need to just clarify right up front is this glossary of terms is not a glossary of biblical words. They are a glossary of terms that appear in the Puritan writers' works. So I selected Christendom. It came up with a list here with Christendom. I can select there. And what you can see is on the left top, you've got a list of the Puritan writers and where this word Christendom appears. If we now go, say, down to page 5 over here, in this particular work, we see a reference here to Hebrews 12, verse 14, and we can click on the Hebrews of Hebrews 12, verse 14, and it'll take you to Hebrews 12. You'll see Hebrews 12 over there. Or I can click on the 12 verse 14, and what you will see is the top left area updates to give you a list of all the writers that reference Hebrews 12 verse 14. Right, so we have at this point basically covered the heart of the software, which is in this Bible tab over here, or Bible link. But I'm going to take you through some of the other links just so that you have a more full understanding of what you can do with the software. The first one being Psalter, and it's really just a list of the Psalms. We can click on Psalm 19 for argument's sake. Verse 8, the statutes of the Lord are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandment of the Lord is pure, enlightening the eyes. And there you go. Click on verse 8 and it brings up a list of the writers. And you follow the same process as what you did with Bible. Then, of course, there are authors, and it brings up an alphabetical list of the authors, about 112 different authors at the moment. As mentioned previously, they are not all strictly regarded as Puritan writers. Some of them are later than the Puritan period, but are very definitely within, or regarded by scholars as being within that camp of Puritan writers. Then we have titles. If you know the title that you're looking for, you can go straight there and select a title. Then what's next? We have topics. Again, we can select any topic. You have, for argument's sake, the Heidelberg Catechism, question 1, and you can start from there. Then the next link is devotion. And for argument's sake, let's say January the 16th, and you'll see there's a list of writers who've done work. You can click on the morning devotional by Charles Haddon Spurgeon, and there you've got some stuff. Or we can, for argument's sake, click on Through Bucker's Veil by J.C. Philpott. And then you have exactly the same as with the Bible tab. You can click on Romans and it'll bring it up. You can click on verse 6 and it'll update the list of writers for you. And then lastly, we've got verse index, and really the verse index if a Puritan writer has referenced a particular verse anywhere, it will appear in this list. If not, for argument's sake, any of the verses in the genealogy section, they might not have referenced that verse, then it will not appear here. So yeah, there's different ways of using the software, getting to the information you're looking for from different directions. And to exit the software, you can go out of full screen mode by pressing F11 on the keyboard and just shutting down the browser, or you can go back to the home page. Right, so that concludes the brief demo for Encyclopedia Puritannica, the software. And I think if you want more information, you can go and look on the website. Their website link is publishepp.com. That's PUBLISHEPP